to remember the end goal, to develop your network. I advise people to get their hands on funding. I am Mae Moore, I'm the editor-in-chief of More magazine, and I am a Shunammite woman. Yes, I've always wanted to start my own business. I've always naturally led people, so it kind of just suits me the best. I wanted to create a platform for young creatives to break into the media industry. It's very hard to get your work published as a young writer, and so that's basically what I wanted to do. I did so many different things to make money to put into it. The funding that was available for me, it kind of seemed like every door was shut for me with funding. I didn't want to create a social enterprise. I wanted to create a limited company, and I was a young person. I didn't have any capital at the time, and no one wanted to kind of help me out financially. So I just thought, I'm going to work really hard. I'm going to make this work. And also I felt quite penalised, and for trying. It's almost like, oh, I can't get funding because I'm not from a deprived situation. So I'm not pregnant. I'm not homeless. I'm not on drugs. I'm not, and all of these things. So it's kind of like, because I was trying, because I was educated, because I had, A-levels at the time, no one wanted to fund me. So it was almost like I was penalised because I was a trier, which that just gave me even more burning desire to make this thing work. I'm going to make my money and I'm going to put it into this magazine, and it's going to be brilliant, and that's basically what I did. I think the lowest point was funding it myself. That's kind of been the biggest impediment for me to overcome and to get over it, because it took so much out of me. I was working like a mad woman. I didn't sleep. I didn't have time for personal relationships. Kind of my whole relationships around me, personal, friendships, family, they all kind of deteriorated because I never had time to invest in them. And so people kind of think, oh, you've kind of had it easy, and the amount of time that I've put into this, people just wouldn't even understand. I'd be up at like 4 o'clock in the morning crying and ripping my hair out, like, I can't do this, and the person that kind of taught me how to make magazines would sit there and be like, no, Ruby, we're going to do this, and we're going to, I don't want to make magazine. I don't know how to make a magazine. I've never designed anything in my life. How am I going to do this? I don't have any journalists. I don't write. What am I going to do? And I just carried on. I haven't actually quit all of my other projects. I'm still doing loads of different things. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not just an editor of a magazine. I've got my hands in many different pies. I do many different things. So, when you're a businesswoman, you don't just focus on one project. When you're passionate about something, you kind of just you kind of just focus on the product rather than the business. Whereas I'm now focused on both, and sometimes they contrast, and there's conflict with them, because something that might be brilliant for to go on the front cover, an artist might be brilliant to put on the front cover. We might have the opportunity to interview that person, but then if someone pays to then go on the front cover, now I'm going to take the person that's paying to go on the front cover, whereas before I would have took Rihanna, or would have took whoever it was that was going to be better for the product. I've always been pretty confident in whatever I do. I think people are either born victims or we're born winners, and I choose winner every time. I will win. I will conquer, and I will make a success of whatever I do. Whatever I want to do, I can do. And that's what I kind of teach everyone that's around me as well, that you can do literally anything that you envision and you want to do, you can do it. And I honestly believe that. So I've always thought I wanted to own a successful magazine, and it will come. I've always been quite confident in everything that I do. So that's key when you're starting up a business or anything really, any project that you're working on. You need to believe that you can do it. So I've always felt that I can run a successful magazine from the get-go. You know, from when I had the vision, my idea was Vogue, you know, as big as Vogue. We're not there yet, but we will be. So yeah. To remember the end goal, like remember what you're aiming for, because I think that when you're in business, when things are moving so fast, I think that we tend to forget why we went in there in the first place. And I think that once you have that end vision and you keep your eyes on that vision, I think nothing can get in the way of that. To develop your network, you know, and to surround yourself with people that complement you, complement the circle that you're in. What energy are they bringing? Are they bringing positive energy? Are they bringing negativity? Are they bringing, you know, development? Because that's what you need to do. I would advise people to get their hand on funding, because like what I experienced is me working myself to the ground, you know, to fund my own business, and it was hard. You know, it took so much out of me. So many things kind of, like for me personally, so many things went wrong because I neglected my personal life. Like socially, I was dead. Ruby didn't exist other than Ruby with business.